Quote of the day, the 10th of December, 2025.
Being that we are creatures of comfort, when things get uncomfortable, we sometimes seek to retreat to our comfort zone. And as things get harder, there are times where we think maybe we should course correct. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. But just because things are harder, just because the difficulty has increased, doesn't mean that we are further from our goals. Today, I want to talk about progress. What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Welcome back to Endure, Believe, Rise. I hope this message reaches you in good energy. I hope you and your loved ones are in good health. Quote of the day: each level of success requires a different measure of consciousness, discipline, preparation, execution, and consistency. Billy Alsbrooks. Song of the day: Dark Side by Bad Omen. I want you to think of your goals a lot like a marathon. I want you to think of your goals a lot like professional sports. So, in the Christian community, we have a saying that goes, new level, new devil. And we're definitely going to talk about that today. But let's stick with our first analogy. You're running a marathon race. First mile doesn't seem too bad. Second mile is definitely worse than the first, but still not too exhausted. Miles 3 and 4 start to feel that taxation. Start to feel your muscles start to strain. And mile 6, yeah, you're definitely feeling it. The last mile, mile 7, if you can run 7 miles. I don't know if I still can, but I was able to at one point. Is when you think about stopping. At least slowing down. Taking your foot off the gas. Why? You're almost there. However, your brain, your body, your spirit, your mind, whatever you want to call it, is saying, maybe we're doing something wrong. Why? You know that you only have 1 mile left. However, your mind is screaming, we should change up. Why? Well, it's simple. Because your body hurts. Your knees may be sore. Your back, if you have a back like mine, probably talking to you. Take our foot off the gas. Let's slow down. Let's coast a little. This is the same situation that we run into when we're on our way to our goals. When we're close to achieving what we set out to achieve, it gets harder toward the end. I don't know why it does. I could probably break it down into scientifics. I could probably break it down into spirituality. I could tell you in a science realm that, the more you compound, the tougher it gets toward those end of those reps. I could break it down into spirituality and say, right when you're about to achieve that goal, the enemy's going to throw everything he can at you to make you quit right at the end, to suffer even more of a humiliation, to show, look how close you were. You just couldn't finish. But I can tell you, my experience, it's always darkest right before dawn. It's always toughest at the very end. That's when you need to dig deep. That's when you need to pull out your resources, your Rolodex. That's when you need to go for your motivational quotes, your battle buddies, your people that you need to lean on. That's when you need to break out those songs and those quotes and those movies, those videos. It's always toughest right before the end. But each level of success requires something more from you. A different measure of preparation. You can't just wake up and just wing it. A different measure of consistency. You can't just do it when you feel like it. You can't just do it when everybody's cheering you on. You have to do it every single time. A different measure of execution. Making it seem as though whether you feel like it, you don't, whether you're tired or you're not, that you want to be there, that you're dying to be there. A different measure of consciousness. Actively thinking and seeking out the ways that you can be better. Not just leaving it to chance or hoping, but actively looking for that feedback and applying it. New level, new devil. Heard this my entire life. And the more that I grow in my spiritual realm, the more I go after these giant goals, the more I seek to overcome these setbacks, I understand new level, new devil. And it seems like an easy concept, especially when you play video games, that, hey, the level before was going to be easier than the level that I'm on now. I beat that level. Now we have to increase the strength of each one of the grunts. The elites have stronger armor. These dungeon bosses aren't going to be succumb to the same weaponry. New level, new devil. If for no other reason than we are in uncharted territory that we have never been before, and we must discover what the weaknesses of our opponents are, what resources we have to overcome these obstacles, how we will achieve our goal. New level, new devil. You think to yourself, things are getting hard because I'm doing something wrong. You think to yourself, things are tough because I need to course correct. You think to yourself, the problems are starting to multiply because I have deviated from the plan, but that's not always the case. Sometimes things are harder because you're on another level. A lot of times, things are difficult because you've almost reached your goal. You don't want to be that person that quits when you're 3 feet away from success. If it's harder, if it's tougher, if it requires more, understand that it's supposed to. It's time to dig deep. It's time to ask yourself, how bad did you want it? It's time to seek the feedback to make sure, am I still on trajectory to reach my goal? Each level of success requires something different. Another measure: consciousness, discipline, preparation, execution, and consistency. What got you here won't get you there. New level, new devil. That's okay. Show the enemy that there's a new you too. Show the enemy the power, the resources, the tools, the strength, the knowledge, the speed that you've been developing on the levels before you got here. Show your opponent who you truly are. All right, guys. I need you to take care of yourselves. Please, be kind to one another. Keep me in your prayers. I'll forever keep you in mind. Endure, believe, rise.